Hey guys, Wolvie here with the City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia global video for the 6th of August 2019. Today's video is going to be a combination of a news video and an opinionated piece-esque special presentation. And it's all about Zack from Final Fantasy Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. So I will return once we get into the home screen. Right.
No, I'm going to try to get you some, yeah? I know, sweetie. I know, what do you want? Yeah, I'll give you a couple of these.
And I am back. So like I said, first part's going to be a news video all about Zack Fair and his lost chapter, which includes information on his lost chapter banner. The second part is going to be a surprising aspect to the banner itself. So, and some stuff I kind of call, after doing some careful digging around. So, again, to be fair, this is a first part's going to be a news one. First part is the limited time Zack costume and discounted gems. So, for those of you who are wondering why can't these two be separate? The thing is that Global is indirectly following Japanese law. And if you in case you guys need like some evidence of that, just if you want to Google it for yourselves, just Google in DFFOO producer interview. I know there's an article out there where the producer brings up the point there is a specific Japanese law that prevents things prevents the alternate costumes being sold by itself. So this is what it looks like. This is the soldier's second class costume, and Zack has a bit of a haircut. So I do want to point out, though, I'm going to go drag it down a little bit here. It says here these chests may be available again in the future. So for those of you who are pay to play like myself, if you miss out the first time, there is a chance that this will come back. Now we're going to go into real quickly the Shining in Someday Lost Chapter, which is the return of the Zack event. Lost Chapters, as always, are permanent. You don't have to rush these if you don't have the means right away. So, and I do want to point out that these do come with the treasure hunts, aka radiant artifacts inside the World of Illusions, alongside limited time missions, which includes the getting 100 black high shards, 100 blue high shards, and 100 yellow high shards, and this corresponds with Zack, Laguna, and Leo, who are on the banner the first time around. So we're going to go over the extension versions of the first two abilities. Change/extension, which is the level 55 crystal passive. We got here moderately increased brave damage. Stolen bravery may exceed max up to 120%. Triggers additional HP attack after use. Increases bravery by 10% of HP damage dealt. Brave attack becomes brave attack plus for 6 turns upon use. Brave attack is a 2-hit melee brave attack. Moderately increased cumulative brave damage. Inflicts lock on target for 2 turns. With the Rush Assault extension, which is the level 60 crystal passive, this has a big change in the sense of how many HP attacks it involves. So the first part is a 3-hit melee brave attack and HP attack, followed by a 2-hit melee brave attack and HP attack, followed by a second 3-hit melee brave attack and HP attack. Largely increased cumulative brave damage, increases bravery by 10% of cumulative HP damage dealt. Extends buffs granted to self by 2 turns. HP attack becomes HP attack plus for 7 turns. And this right here, Zack's version, says here that HP attack plus increases bravery based on max. The higher the max bravery, the higher the amount of brave. Then unleashes an HP attack. Finally increases bravery by 10% of HP damage dealt. So if you're brand new to the game, so you will be getting a copy of these for free. And by brand new, you could have started a few weeks ago, or alternatively, you've been here for a while, but you missed out on Zack when he first showed up. And I do want to point out here that Zack was I do want to point out that Zack's debut was the last when he was 50-50, but it does appear that Global is closely following JP more than ever, but take that part with a grain of salt because of Beatrix and the fact that she was a Global first. And that's a bit of a hint of what's to come. So anyway, I'm going to go back and forth in and out of the Lost Chapter banner. So what we have here is the debut of the EX weapon for Zack. It's called Enhanced Sword. Equips with the EX ability Apocalypse, alongside the 15 and 35 CP weapons for Zack, Laguna, and Lael. And I'm just going to go over the description for Apocalypse. So what this does, it is a 6-hit magic brave attack and group HP attack. Deals proportionate HP damage to each target. Increased brave damage while targeted by the enemy. Stolen bravery may exceed max up to 150%. Inflicts lock on all targets for 4 turns. Grants brave barrier to self for 4 turns. Now we already know what lock does, but brave barrier is I would say this is more like an exclusive buff. So this reduces a certain amount of brave damage, but it gets canceled when afflicted with break. So I'm going to hold my opinion on all this stuff on Zack until I get to the opinionated side of this, which involves a certain aspect I found out about Zack, all that stuff. So we're going to start it off right here, that part of the video right now. So you notice here this thing with this brave barrier. That it cancels out when he's afflicted with break. This actually possesses the same problem Deuce has with Concerto. Now, why am I bringing up a character like Deuce? And the thing is with Concerto, and this is the pre-rework, is that when somebody gets afflicted, when someone's bravery gets broken on the team, the effects from Concerto are canceled. And the thing is with this aspect of Brave Barrier from Apocalypse, it possesses the same problem. That it reduces the brave it reduces the brave damage, but he has to keep his bravery nice and high in order for the brave barrier duration to last. Now, the thing is with this banner, what he does, it looks good on paper, but there's another character whose rework at 7070 is coming up in the near future, and more specifically, Warrior of Light. There is a lot of talk where people are saying that Warrior of Light destroys Zack in key aspects, more specifically some aspects of utility and what Warrior of Light can do. And the thing is that the one thing that Zack cannot do that Warrior Light does, he provides some small heal to the party through the EX ability. So, however, Zack's EX weapon comes back more than once, to be more specific. On JP, it came back Act 2-7 when Ignis showed up. And Zack's EX weapon then is EX+. Zack, and to be fair though, Zack does get his 70-70 awakening kind of early. However, knowing Global is known to change things around. And knowing Global as well as I do, they could very well delay his 70-70. Especially if they go off the current JP model, Where, for example, Act 2-8, when General Leo made his debut on JP, that's when Galoof got his 70/70 awakening alongside of a rework of sorts. So that's an angle Global could do if they wanted to. And again, when I mention General Leo and Galoof, that's the quote-unquote current JP model. So, another aspect that I'm going to go into the calendar, because there are 2 other characters whose banners are passable. And we scroll down here. It is none other than Rydia from Final Fantasy IV via her Lost Chapter banner, and Fran from Final Fantasy XII, when she makes her global debut later on this month. These 2 also have passable banners. And the thing is with Zack, he is surprisingly passable. And against the reasons I stated with Warrior of Light. And again, Global can very well mix things up by delaying Zack's 70/70 awakening, because, and one of the reasons could be they could be going off the current JP model. With that being said, though, for those of you who are pulling on Zack right now, more power to you, because he gets better. However, I may have heard this wrong, but it looks like Zack has yet to get a rework. And even though people say, he's really good for chaos, blah, 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 the question comes down to, is he a favorite? And the thing is with the lock, when he inflicts the lock on enemies, the worst person to put him on the same team with in that regard is Celeste. Because Celeste and her runic ability, that could transfer the target's lock. And the type of damage they could do. So, my final thoughts here on Zack. He's actually not a bad banner to pull on. Me personally, I'm skipping because there are other banners that I will be pulling on for the sake of favorites over meta. And the thing is with meta, I do want to reiterate, the type of meta changes. And with DPS units being the most common, they're also the easiest to replace. And with Zack, he comes at a weird time. And keep in mind, Global can change things around with the 70/70 era. And the reason why that is that if Global were to follow JP to the letter, certain things would have already happened as they did, but some of them did not. And that's what the beauty about Global, because they don't really want to be like an exact mirror copy of JP. And that's okay. And I'd rather see people pull for who they like, regardless if they're better or not, as opposed to pulling on just meta characters just to get through everything. Because the problem I've noticed with this game is that people get bored. And when people get bored with this game, they just want to up and leave. And for pulling on only meta, it can have a potential of holding people in place in the sense of clearing things. Because when it comes to the upcoming event, the upcoming debut of Abyss Beta, this could probably force people's hand here. Because you can't always use the same person. That same person, yeah, I would actually say that. You can't always use the same person in every mission. And it kind of forces people to utilize other characters. And that's why I feel it's okay to go after your favorites more so than going after meta. And I want to phrase a comment I saw on Facebook, that meta is temporary, but your favorites are forever. And that's where I'm going to end this video. With Wolvie here, signing off. I will catch you all on the flip side.